So the Los Angeles Lakers, they have been struggling since winning the in-season tournament, and really there's been a ton of trade speculation as to what they're going to do going into the trade deadline. Now, of course, we talked about Zach LaVine. We also talked about DeJounte Murray being possible trade candidates. I'm sure there will be even more players coming up as candidates as we move closer to the trade deadline. But with that said, the more I think about it, the more I don't think going and trading for another player is the right move. Now, with that said, you may be asking, yo, DLloyd, you already talked about why the Lakers should not go after Zach LaVine. Well, now I'm thinking about DeJounte Murray. Now, we just talked about a couple of videos ago, maybe the last video, about DeJounte Murray potentially being available and what would the Lakers have to give up. It's easier to make that trade happen in terms of matching up contracts. You don't have to give up quite as much. And DeJounte Murray, a two-way player, he could be that guy to guard, that position of attack. But I don't really know if that is the answer for the Lakers. Now, I think the real issue with Darvin Ham and the Lakers is not really the roster construction. More so, I think it is the lineups and the rotations that we have seen. This year, Darvin Ham has pretty heavily been criticized about the lineups and the rotations that he has put out on pretty much a nightly basis. And it continues to, in my opinion, get worse and worse as time goes on. Now, originally, we've seen DLloyd, we've seen Austin Reeves both in the starting lineup. We know there were injuries to players like Gabe Vincent, who's really been off and on all season long. And now he's going to miss an extended amount of time, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Vando missed quite some time early on in the season. He is now back, and he is now in the starting lineup. But when you look at really the Lakers in totality, I don't like what they have put out. Now, we didn't see Austin Rivers and DLloyd work as well as expected when they were both starting together. So we decided to move Austin Reeves to the bench, and that was kind of a quick fix to that. Fast forward to now where we have benched D'Angelo Russell, taking him out of the starting lineup. You now have essentially LeBron James as your point guard, with Cam Reddish there for defensive purposes, Taurean Prince there for defensive purposes, Anthony Davis, of course, he could do it on both sides of the ball, and then you have Vando, who is there for defensive purposes with LeBron James. But what you end up having is a very ineffective lineup. This lineup has failed to really spark anything offensively. And now you have to depend on Austin Reeves coming off the bench to get you points. Maybe D'Angelo Russell to try to get you points. You have to now lean on really anybody on the bench to come on and get you points. Rui Hachimura, another guy you get to lean on to get you points. I don't think this is a great lineup. It's a flawed lineup, but this is not the only lineup that we have seen now work for the Lakers, because all season, for the most part, the lineups have been pretty questionable. And you could be asking me why. Why is this lineup so bad, and what would I do differently? Well, I know the Lakers don't have the best relationship with D'Angelo Russell, but what he could do for you offensively is he could still get you a solid and pretty consistent 15 to 20 points any given night. I think D'Angelo Russell definitely needs to be inserted back into the lineup. Now, the more I think about this, I think Austin Reeves also needs to go into the starting lineup. Yes, you could probably bring back a Cam Reddish. That means he'll be coming off of the bench for you. But Cam Reddish giving you 7 points a game. Yes, he is a strong defender, but he is not giving you that threat. Austin Reeves is going to give you that scoring threat. D'Angelo Russell will give you that scoring threat. Yes, they are a little bit of a liability on the defensive end, and we've seen them together really now work, but that's where the rotations come in. You start both of them, and you could flip a coin as to which one you want to take out first. You could take out D'Angelo Russell first, keep Austin Reeves on the floor. You could take out Austin Reeves first, keep D'Angelo Russell on the floor, and start staggering the minutes after that. But that first, strong 6 minutes of the game, you can have both of them out there, and they are going to be scoring threats, and we can see who's kind of dealing with the hot hand at that given moment or for the game. I think that is something the Lakers definitely need to consider. Jared Vanderbilt, my guy, you guys know, graduated from University of Kentucky. I am biased towards Kentucky players. He has not been performing well this season. Yes, he's still okay on the defensive side of the ball, and maybe the more games he plays, the more of a rhythm develops, and he could get out of the slump that he's somewhat in now. But right now, he's not giving you anything offensively, and he's kind of hampering what you could do on the offensive side of the basketball, because what he's doing on defense hasn't been good enough to overcome the production he's giving you offensively. So I will take him out of the lineup as well. But say you want to keep him in the lineup, that is okay. I do think the lineups with Darvin Ham and the Lakers, that is the true issue with this team. So say you bring in DeJounte Murray. Yes, he is a better defender than D'Angelo Russell. He can help at the point of attack. Great. He's shooting pretty much a career high 38% from three this season. So we know he could get hot there. Yes, 1-for-1, I do think he's a better player than D'Angelo Russell. Now, depending on what you have to give up, if you have to start including more and more players, then your net return may not be worth it. It may not be worth it. And that's where it will ultimately depend on what you have to give up. Now, for Zach LaVine, we know what you're going to have to give up, because there's really only a few ways to make the math work. You know it's going to be DLloyd, you know it's going to be Rui, and then it's going to be somebody else, a Hood Schifino, somebody, a Max Christie, somebody like that to get the money to even out. With DeJounte Murray, it's a little easier to get there, so you may not have to give up as much, and that may be more draft capital than anything, but even that is going to be very tough, I think, to improve the Lakers. Yes, you may get the better player, but I don't know if you're giving them multiple assets, especially players right now. Getting rid of that depth, I'm not sure it is worth it at the end of the day. I think the Lakers need to keep tinkering with the lineup till they find what Darvin Ham feels comfortable with. And that's crazy, because we are this far into the season, and it seems like he has no idea really what he wants. And it's interesting. It's very interesting, because this is not a team that was just built, right? There wasn't any trades that just happened. This is a lot of players that you had with last season, a couple of new faces, but most of them have not been healthy. Taurean Prince has been a bright spot in terms of he is a true 3-and-D guy. He is shooting well enough to give you offensive production. He's playing defense at a pretty good level, so that works. Cam Reddish, he has those games where he can give you offensive production, but for the most part, he's there defensively. You need to figure out how to stagger the rotation. I think that is the major issue with the Lakers. Darvin Ham and the rotation. Get that figured out. Maybe the Lakers could go on a run similar to what they did last season, when they had more shooters, a little bit more offensive power to kind of get things done. Right now, you do not have that. So those are my thoughts and opinions. I don't think going after DeJounte Murray is the answer. I would not be opposed to it, but what you give up is going to be very, very important. But I think focus on what we do have and go from there. But what do you guys think? That is my opinions. Am I way off? Should we go after DeJounte Murray? Am I tripping? Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. As usual, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please do me a favor. Go ahead and leave this video a like. It helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. It's DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.